I am finding being alive fascinating, said Bella Baxter, perhaps partly modeled after Ada Lovelace. Okay, multiple choice time. Would you rather, in your final breaths on this planet, be given incontrovertible physical proof that God exists, even if we don't always use God as we should, or be given incontrovertible proof that we are not the only planet with intelligent life forms in the universe, even if we don't always use intelligence as we should? This early morning, as the morning doves softly coo their laments from the telegraph, telephone, cable, fiber optic wires above the dew-covered lawn, the newspaper rolled in its thin and easily pierced protective plastic at driveway's end. Will it be the familiar or the foreign, the alien or the divine? And would it make a difference if it wasn't one God, but instead affirmed we're 7 gods, not too different from Kronos' kids? Proof that the early Greeks had a few things right in their wine, learning systems, cosmic maps. Or proof that there's not just one other planet with intelligent life, but multiple, at least 8, confirmed other Goldilocks planets, and perhaps a 9th, if once scientists can resolve that familiar Plutonian debate, underworld for the yang to this heaven-lit yin. Before answering, consider how little actually revolves around us. We might have only just begun evolution. Before answering, account for the fact that scientists were only first invented in 1834, less than 200 years ago. Well, not the people themselves, but the term scientist itself, because often, before we place a modern name tag on something, scientist or priest or charlatan, those things did exist in practice prior to that naming. And just because our particular culture came up with a new way to gather fundamental elements, imagination to cosmic microbes, doesn't mean that they didn't already exist, likely on the distant fringes. Newton never knew fission. Thomas Jefferson was oblivious to dinosaurs. And Lord Byron's daughter only anticipated computers, even if she didn't name IBM or Dell, never held an apple in her palm, her eyes too fascinated to acknowledge the eye strain or techno headache. But that didn't stop her from fascination, possibility, poetry until her last breath. Curious but content, aware her awe-filled 36 years, like the first time we see the world through a microscope, telescope, or beneath the water surface over the reef snorkel mask. We're more blip than unchangeable definition, an electron jumping among orbits.